Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you're so determined for your child to become a particular person? I'm not talking about wanting them to be responsible or successful. I'm talking about that deep desire that almost feels like an obsession. The one that makes you anxious whenever your child chooses a different path from the one you imagined. Sometimes we think we're simply encouraging our children, but if we are honest with ourselves, there are moments when what we think is encouragement is actually pressure. And the difficult part is that many of us do not even realize we're doing it. It doesn't always sound like you must be a doctor or you must become a lawyer. Sometimes it sounds like repeatedly dismissing your child's interests because they don't fit the future you pictured. Sometimes it looks like comparing them to other children, maybe their siblings, family member, cousins, or whatever. Sometimes it shows up as disappointment every time they perform below your expectations. And sometimes it's making your child feel that nothing they do is ever quite enough. And over time, that child begins to believe that love must be earned, that acceptance depends on achievement, that failure is not an event, but it becomes an identity. Now, this is exactly where I'm heading. What if the pressure we're putting on our children has very little to do with them and so much to do with us? Many parents carry dreams that never came to life. Some wanted opportunities they never had. Some carry the pain of poverty. Some still remember what it felt like to be overlooked. And some wanted careers they couldn't pursue. Some are still trying to recover from disappointments they never talked about. Now, none of those experiences make anyone a bad parent. They simply make us human. But when those unhealed disappointments quietly begin to shape how we raise our children, we start seeing our children for who they are and then start seeing them as another opportunity to finish what life didn't allow us to complete. Our children slowly then become carriers of dreams they never chose. And that's a heavy burden for a child to carry. Okay, hold on. I think I need to mention this. Your child is not an extension of you. They are simply your responsibility. No this and no peace. You see, I've spoken with young people who are afraid to tell their parents what they truly want. Not because they are rebellious, but because they are terrified of disappointing them. I've also met adults who are successful. I mean, very successful, but have no idea who they really are. Because they spent their whole lives becoming what everyone else wanted, but never what they really want. Just imagine living like that. Imagine waking up every day, wearing and living someone else's dream. Our children are not extensions of us. They came through us, yes, but they are not us. They have their own personalities, gifts, purpose, and journey. Our responsibility is not to write that journey for them. Our responsibility is to prepare them for it, to guide them, teach them values, correct them when necessary, to encourage excellence, to expose them to opportunities, but also to give them room to discover themselves, to give them permission to ask questions, make mistakes, to grow. Because children who never feel safe to fail often grow into adults who are afraid to live. And that's a price no child should have to pay. As parents, we need to ask ourselves an honest question. Am I raising my child? Or am I asking my child to heal the parts of me that are still hurting? Because healing ourselves is our responsibility. It should never become the responsibility of our children. We need to raise children who know they are loved before they perform. Children who know that one failure doesn't make them failures. Children who have the confidence to become who they were created to be and not who we wished we had become. That to me is one of the greatest gifts we can give the next generation. I am Sola Abiodun Adiago, a women and child rights advocate, And I believe protecting children is not only about protecting their bodies, it is also about protecting their minds, identity, confidence, and freedom to become who they were created to be.